All right. Now, you said you're not going to do it all at once. And that brings me to the goal. How do we approach that? What is your recommendation? Because, when people want to move from, okay, jet is very fast,
Yes.
Even for the jet, you need to take a certain amount of time to move from one end of the city to another.
The-
So tell me about that, the,
Okay.
the, the goal. How do we approach it? Yeah, please.
So if we're not very clear in our mind's eye about the goal that we have, so we want the goal of self-development, we want the goal of thriving, we want the goal of moving out of poverty, we want the goal of being more educated, we want the goal of telling our stories. So in my own journey now, I recognize a number of things are important. You have the goal and you must be committed to wanting to move towards the goal. There has to be, even before the commitment, that conviction that this is what I want. So for me, it starts with a conviction for a desire for change. Then there is the commitment that I'm going to keep putting my resources and my energy into this. There is the whole essence of consistency. I said it before and I'm saying it again. Many of the goals that I have achieved have come through disappointments, but after many retrials. I shared with a group recently. I have been trying to get fit from 2018. It is only since December 2022 into now that I have been consistent. What if I had given up? What if I had said, Lord, I want to get fit, but I try and I fail? I kept going. I fall down and I get up. I say I'm going to the gym 5 days and I make it two, and next week I'm going again to one. So there is a kind of consistency that we believe that the goal is achievable, and that's where it comes back to the conviction. And another thing that is important, we can't get to the goal doing what we're doing now. So there has to come some change. So that ability to do things slightly differently is going to help us to get to the goal. So I would say conviction, commitment of our internal resources, and if we have to pull from external resources, consistency, and a change, even a little bit of change at a time to what we're doing now. Because if there was no need for change, we would have already achieved our goal.
I like that. That is true.
Mhm.
It is important. No, that is very important. Because if you need something and that thing that you need, you don't already have it, it means there is something blocking you between what you want and where you are right now. So it is important to address that elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
What is stopping me from getting to that goal? What am I doing now that is not helping me to get there? Do I need to change something in how I deal with my time? Do I need to change my circle in terms of, with whom I'm associating? Do I need to change my perspective? You spoke about reframing that, and that we could spend an entire session speaking about the significance of reframing our perspectives and our situations that will propel us forward rather than keep us stuck. So, what are the small changes that I can make that will take me a little nearer to my goal? I can't stand up and show off to you now, but a part of my story is that I have a part of the goals of getting healthy was to lose some weight because somebody told me in their story that too much weight around my midsection is not good for my organs. So, taking that information from somebody's story, I made that a part of my goal. And I can now proudly say that after 3 months, I have lost 10 pounds, and it is just motivating me to keep going. And I'm excited. And of course, I don't mind the compliments that I get when I walk. But it came as a result of hard work, commitment, consistency, change. I had to change some of the things I was eating and change how often I exercised. And I'm happy and I'm proud and I want somebody else to take this today and say, yes, Yvette's story can be my parachute. Like,
You are
yes.
writing your story and you are at the center stage of it. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. Now, you have written a book.
Yeah.
Uh, what do you want to tell us about this book and how can people get it? That is very important.
The book is entitled Living Water for the Christian Journey, a 31-day devotional of healing and refreshing. I mentioned it previously, and it was born out of some of my own challenges, financial difficulties, and how I exercise my faith to get through. And I'm at a different place financially than I was back then. It speaks about friendships, faith, what we can do. It speaks about waiting when we're in the process on the journey to get to our goal. There is still some way. The book speaks about the seasons of our lives. Many times we may be inclined to get stuck in the winter seasons, but I want to tell somebody today that after winter comes spring, and spring is beautiful and bubbling and radiant and full of life. So the devotional speaks to some of those issues and much more. It speaks to injustice in the workplace, and it is available on Amazon. Uh, right. So it's Yvette Boucher Gardner, spelled P-O-U-C. And the title is Living Water for the Christian Journey. And it's available on Amazon. It's born, I'm saying again, out of a part of my story, but also because I saw the need to encourage other women with my story. And so what has been said to me, I realize that it's achieving its goal. When somebody can say to me, every woman should have that book, I'm like, yeah,
Thank you so much, Yvette. Thank you so much. You are such a powerhouse.
thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now, so what would be your final thought here? Because I think the conversation has really been very interesting. And I want to believe that our audience will say the same. So to conclude it, what would be your final thought? It might be a message or a kind of a retouching of the point that you find important for you to communicate, or maybe something you wanted to say I didn't ask you. Please go ahead and do that.
My final thoughts first, I want to commend you on taking this initiative and the work that you do, because you're obviously not only hosting the podcast, but you're writing and you're getting stories out there. So, first, I want to commend you and to thank you for doing that for us. Then, I want to say to your viewership and your listenership, whatever change you desire, don't give up. Or I should say, I'm going to not say don't give up. I should say, do keep going. Do keep trying. Do keep pushing past limitations. Do keep believing in you. Do keep believing that you are central. Do keep believing that you're important. Do keep believing that you can beat the odds. Obey, he spoke about Viktor Frankl. He beat the odds. Many others beat the odds. Many of our forefathers beat the odds. And I'm saying to you, win afraid. You may be afraid. You may be scared. You may be fearful. I'm going to tell you today that I'm on this podcast through a lot of, I think, anxiety. And I said, I'm going to push through this and I'm going to do it afraid. So if you have to do it, and you will do it to become the absolutely best versions of yourselves, do it afraid if you have to, but never stop doing. Never stop being. Never stop speaking your story. And if you haven't started, start. Obehi, I want to tell them somebody may have written the first script and you had no control over how your story started, but you can write the ending just as I'm rewriting mine.
I like that part. I like it. It's very interesting. You are going to be afraid if you need to do something that you have never done before. It is natural that you are afraid, but I like the way you put it. Go ahead anyway. Do it even if you are afraid.
Mhm.
That is what makes the difference because everybody that have never done anything before, when you want to do it, you are afraid.
Yes.
If that is what you are, then what is the difference? The
Yeah.
difference is that if you want to succeed, you are afraid like every other person, fine, that is equal. But there is something more. Despite your fear, you still do it. That is not everybody does that.
Yes. Some people are held back by their fears. And I want to encourage you, my brothers and sisters, wherever you are listening, please. I've done so many things afraid, and I've looked back and I've smiled. I say, walk into fear one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, and before you know it, you'll be on the other side of fear.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is really have been very educating and full of information. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It was my absolute pleasure.
Thank you.